What's up, guys? How are you? Missed all of you. We haven't been on in a couple weeks, but I'm excited to bring you an awesome show to this evening. I apologize in advance if my voice sounds weird. I don't know what's going on. It's been going on for over a week and a half. It might be allergies. I don't know, but it sounds like I'm sick, but I'm definitely not. But something's going on with my voice. I'm going to go to the doctor and get it checked out. But if I sound raspy, um, something's going on with my voice. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, got an exciting show for you guys. Before we get started with our guest, um, want to know who's going to Cecil County Dragway this weekend. So big event happening this weekend. Friday, there's a private test session going on at Cecil County Dragway, and then of course they're doing their street night Friday night, and then Saturday is the Big Fred Productions point series, where you're going to have 28 275 275 Unleashed, where they're going to welcome in class cars, um all steel, all glass, the Little Giants, I believe the No Clock Street is also running, so it's going to be a jam-packed day. I will be there both days, so if you see me at Cecil County Dragway, please say hello, and I'll have some stickers with me and stuff like that. So should be a great weekend. Weather looks good. So, and again, guys, if you like what you see, please share this everywhere that you can. Like it, comment, ask questions, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and all that fun stuff. So, without further ado, we are going to bring on our guest, Mr. Pump Gas Hero himself, Troy.
Ooh.
Troy, I never know how to say your last name. Is it Baum?
Baum.
Baum?
Baum.
Like boom.
You could, yeah, it's boring as hell. Most people just call me T-Bomb.
T-Bomb. Bomb. Like
Bum. Whatever. I'm fresh out of your green room, buddy.
Oh, yeah? What was going on in the green room?
I don't know, when my fucking pants are all wet.
Oh, man. Hold on. I'm going to go back to the green room. You host the show then.
Well, depending how the show ends up, I may be back there with you. What's going on?
Man. Not much, man. Not much. So, you look busy in the shop today.
Oh, man, we got all kinds of stuff going on nonstop.
What kind of cars you got back there? I see is yours back there? I see the.
It is. Top. Yeah. So most shop owners don't have much time to play with their own. I can give you a little tour here. I can pick up my laptop.
Yeah. Go ahead. Give us a tour.
But yeah, I'm just waiting on my motor to get back for refreshing and all that. You see a Grand National?
Nice. What kind of car is that Grand National? Is like a bracket car?
Nah, this will be he races this in a Grand National street class.
Interesting.
So we're stepping outside our box. My guy Nate Kreider in here, he's a hell of a fabricator.
Mm-hmm.
So for some people, we'll do a little fab work. So we're doing the turbo kit, full 5-inch oval stainless out the back for ground clearance, all that. But yeah, this thing will run deep, bro.
Nice.
Nice. This thing will run fast.
What else you got?
Look at that thing. I know, right? Like I'm all fucking upside down. Sometimes when I get in front of a camera, I'm like Ricky Bobby. Oh, fucking do my head.
What motor setup is in that? And
that's a 420,
electronics.
Yeah, 427. Simple sniper deal. Local show car. So it's in for a little bit of wiring, rehab, not a full rewire, and some tuning.
Nice.
My man Dave Kogan, I work with him a lot on Holly stuff.
Uh-huh.
He's tackling the tuning on this. I work with a lot of tuners, all the tuners basically out there, depending on the projects, right? I get customers with all kinds of stuff, so I have to work with all of them,
Nice.
which is nice. A lot of good people, a lot of talented guys out there, you know.
Yeah. Um,
Back here, you'll probably recognize.
oh
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Is that Ron Rhodes' car?
Oh, shit. Shh.
What's he doing to it now?
Can't tell you.
Put in a bigger big block in it?
No, no. Every time it gets dirty, he brings it back so I can fucking detail it.
Oh, okay.
Dust off the wheels.
Nice, nice.
Nah.
So
Tidying up a few things. He's a little hard on stuff at the track.
you think?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pull up a picture and you're gonna have to explain this picture. Okay.
Oh boy. Yes. That is what you're looking at right there is the greatest rock and roll band in the world.
In the world. What was the name of it?
That was called the Dead Air Beats.
Oh, okay.
That was a project, studio and live touring project we did.
Wow.
I've been in and out of band since I was 13 or 14. I haven't been in the band. That picture, I think, was our last show in 2008.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just bang on my acoustic, and I still have my live rig at home. But
did you guys travel a lot?
We traveled up and down the East Coast a little bit, played every shit bar and club around, that we could.
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
You used to be a heavy guy.
Me?
Yeah.
I did. I dropped weight.
Yeah, you're like really fit now.
I don't know about fit. Come on. Let's not get too crazy here.
I'm just trying to hit on you.
Oh man, I appreciate you. That's the best compliment in the world when a gay guy hits on you. Right? You caught that?
Oh man.
So I shattered my my collarbone a few years ago skateboarding, and man, I got so sick because I can't take pills, and the doctors gave me these pain pills and stuff, and I don't do well with them. They made me sick for 3 days. I didn't eat, and I dropped actually a lot of weight. So I took advantage. Yeah, I took advantage of that and just limited my portions.
Right.
Because I don't drink alcohol really anymore, like any of that jazz. So I like to eat. So I just cut my portions and kind of just stuck with that. The last couple of years, I've been able to keep 45 pounds off.
Yeah, I think people if people would just like cut back, like they don't need to cut back like everything they love. I think if people just cut back a little bit, and or eat smaller portions, like they would drop weight like that. It's all calorie count. That's all it is.
It is, and if you're a sweets person, like I'm a sweets person, so what I'll do is I'll get that rush. I'll put that donut in my mouth. I'll take a bite, and I'm trying to learn with, okay, that's good enough. Yeah. I don't need to eat the box.
Right.
This
right.
half of one or one is good.
Right. You can just lick the other ones in the box and then just put them back.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound disgusting on the air, but that's exactly what my kids and I do in the house.
Oh man. So how did you like get involved in cars?
Early on as a kid, my dad was a big Mustang 2 guy, so naturally he took me around to a bunch of car shows and stuff like that. Old Ford Motorsport Nationals, Maple Grove was a big one that we attended to local, right? 5-liter Mustang came out. I was 15, 16, 17, starting to really love them cars. Saved up my money, worked all that I could, bought 118, and then just outran cops and raised all kinds of hell with that thing. But you learn how to work on them, right?
Right.
And then
you've done some street racing and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of all the above.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, but yeah, you can get in a lot of trouble.
I'm sure it's a rush. I don't really street race. I've never like I've been around it, but I've never done it myself. I'm sure it's a big rush.
So yeah, there's quite a few different styles of street racing, right? Like years ago, I mean, I would just go out and look for cop style run on the back roads and just have them follow me around and
Oh,
bang
wow.
donuts. I made an evening out of it, right? But street racing, guys will go out, street race all over the place, just straight line. I liked a lot of towns.
Right.
Like we'll start here, but then we'll race 15 miles over this way and we'll meet over there.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
My first street race, it was my buddy took me. It was in Philadelphia, and I couldn't believe it. Like it was like I forget where we met at because it was so long ago. Like I don't even think I was 21 yet, and there was just like so many people and cars, right? Um, and like a couple of guys
mhm.
brought their drag cars like on the trailers and stuff, and I was like, "What the hell is this? Like, this is crazy!" And like, they took the drag cars right off the trailers and were running them right on the street. I was like, "This is like some Fast and Furious shit."
But it's not only a rush, but it's I don't know if you don't like organized track events or you don't want to deal with any of that, the streets is just always open. We were like, well, why do I have to wait for next week to fucking race you when we could just go bang right now?
Right,
You
right.
know
That
what I
makes
mean?
sense.
So, and I was never hardcore in it to where I'm going to Philly and street racing. Nobody knows me in the grudge where I'm not like that. I would just go bang by myself on back roads for hours, donuts and drifting and all that stuff. I street race probably more in my car now because it's not set up for back roads.
Hmm.
Now it's just set up for huge rolling burnouts on the highway. But
What motor setup is in that thing?
that is an LS, turbo LS combo.
How big of a turbo?
That was an 85.
Nice. And is a motor like stock bottom end? Like, what do you got going on there?
That was a stock 6 liter block crank, aftermarket rods, pistons, ARP throughout. Started as a 6 liter. Uh, yeah, 85 Jose forced inductions.
Nice.
Yeah, stock 317 heads. Uh, OG Little John stage 2 cam. He's the one that actually years ago helped work it out with me, right? Rest in
Right.
peace.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it ran really good, man. We put 19,000 street miles on it, like 4 years, hundreds of passes.
Nice.
Um,
That's nice. That's a nice little street car you got there.
yeah, I
What
appreciate that.
trans?
That's a TH 400
Okay.
built
Nice.
by Kenny, our local Kenny Keith.
Yes. Yes. Who did the motor work?
Jeremy Gers,
Oh, okay.
Innovative Performance,
Yep.
Lancaster.
Yep.
His attention to detail is,
Phenomenal.
yeah,
Awesome.
yep.
Well, how did the whole like wiring thing come about? Like, give us the whole backstory on that.
Backstory of the wiring thing. A buddy of mine was building a Fox body, and he ripped all the wiring out of it for whatever reason. He thought he could just redo it, and he's like, "Hey, can you help me?" And other than car audio and stuff like that as a teenager, right? But this was what, early 20s, so I'm late teens, early 20s, getting into the wiring of Fox body, right? We figured it out. Everything worked. Didn't look like the stuff does now.
Right.
But yeah, it just progressed from there. Once I did his car, his buddy asked, and nobody wanted to wire, right? And
Right.
at the time, I'm a licensed contractor, licensed plumber, had my own renovations business, all that stuff, right? My body's getting beat up from labor-intensive work
Yeah.
and extracurricular activities, rock and roll, skateboarding, snowboarding, right? You get beat up.
You're right.
Wiring, I saw an opportunity. I'm like, well, if nobody wants to do it, maybe I can make something out of this, and why not? I just love giving anything a shot. I'm not
Right.
afraid. It's not a failure to me. It's a failure if I don't try, if I want to.
Right.
But yeah, the cars just kept coming, man. One after another. I was wiring them out of my house.
Hmm.
You know, my neighbors were looking at me as first couple drag cars that came over. You know, my retired neighbors, like, what are you doing, man? It's like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's mind your own goddamn business. I just whisper at him.
So like, I guess over the years, you know what I mean? Because like wiring a race car or even a show car or whatever, it's like an
Yeah,
art to me. And there's so many different like, you know, and I might be butchering this because I'm not a wiring specialist, but like so many different connectors and different wires and different, you know, all these different things that go along with wiring. Like, how did you learn that stuff, or did you just learn along the way, or you know?
a lot of all the above. So I followed a lot of all the professional wiring guys that came before me. Rick Elgin, Jonathan Homeyer, like all these guys out there doing it. They were nice enough to offer up their help. Uh, and old yellowbullet.com was a huge source back in the day before Facebook or any of that. We're going
Mhm.
back some years now. But the forums, all the forums was a huge source of help. And then trial and error,
Yeah,
you know, and then since I'm kind of a racer, not really, but I am,
you're a
right?
racer.
Once I find
Look,
something that
I have
works,
proof. I have proof. Hold on,
oh
you're a
no,
racer. Hold on.
oh, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, it makes anybody a racer now. Oh my word.
Did they tell you to pose like that?
Yeah, they told me to. Yeah, they told me to like get all junk food up and perform in front of the camera and stuff and blah blah blah. So I was like, whatever.
That's
It was a
hilarious.
good time. It was a good time. They screwed the local streetcar guys
Oh, okay.
and the locals only. You know, it was supposed to be just a 550 kind of streetcar thing, and then they flipped it on us at the day of the event.
What they do? Bringing some faster guys in that class, or
Yeah, I drove my car to the track in the rain, smoking a cigar, blowing smoke out the window, watching these guys sell T-shirts out of their stackers, and they're in the same class as me, and they're from down south.
Jesus?
I don't know how local. Uh, I guess everybody's idea of local is a little different,
Right, right. Yeah,
but
that's ridiculous.
yeah, I get it. Whatever. I put it on him though. You know, I did my job. Like he had a mid 4 second car to my mid 5 second whip. You know, but I made sure to put his on his ass on TV on the tree, right? Like you could have a faster car, blah blah blah, but racer to racer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Get it on the tree because if we would have had the exact same car,
right. Yeah, exactly. Like
but
that's where a lot of races are won are at the tree. You know what I mean? You got
absolutely
guys with fast cars that can't cut a light for shit.
not because they depend on their wallets and everybody. You know, buy the best of everything, and at the end of the day, if you're not a core racer, you're just out there either having fun or I don't know.
Right, right.
But
Um. So tell me more about um how long did they film for? Like that whole deal on No Prep Kings. Like, was that like a all day thing, or like was it a few hours, or
no, it was like a 3 day thing, and it was raining off it all. It was the track was a mess, but it was still a lot of fun. I mean, it's all the TV, you know, hoo-fa. Uh, but I mean, I don't know if they mean well or what for the sport. I mean, I think it helped the sport and all, but I'm not too impressed with that. Was I stole that logo from Little John years ago. I think it was Little John and Scott Clark. I don't know. All these guys had this logo laying around. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna make a cape out of that. Little John's like, get out of here. I'm like, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So, so at that time, I was still on Pump 93.
how did you get that nickname?
I really didn't. I just stole the logo and stole it from Little John and just rolled with it.
Oh, so like even like what it said, like you stole it from John.
Punk Ass Hero.
Yeah.
I I think that was his deal. I don't think I
Okay.
could take credit for all that.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. What were you smoking a little bit ago?
Black and Mild.
Oh yeah? I thought it was something else.
Oh, blunt. What did I miss them in your green room? Do I
Let's
need to
go.
go back?
Yeah, let's go back to the green room.
There we go.
So, so obviously, you're an entrepreneur. Um, there's nothing easy being a business owner, right? So, like,
No.
what's the toughest part of your job, or if you can name more than one?
Uh, and I'm sure a lot of the race car shop owners can relate is schedules. Uh, every customer, every car is different. It's all custom. It usually gets into the shop and things change. If one car, that was scheduled for 2 weeks, if they add so and so, X amount of things to that job, and that's an extra 20 or 30 hours just for that one car extra, right? That lays over into the next week, gets into the next week.
Right.
Then you get 2, 3, 4 cars like that, projects. That's one of my biggest struggles, staying on top of everything. Uh, I have one solid guy in here, Nate, for 2.5 years. Incredible. I'm a control freak. So hiring somebody to work on my babies, because each one of these cars, they're like my kids,
Right.
is tough, right? I think that's tough for any business owner, especially these days.
Yeah, I would agree. I was the same way where I didn't want to give up the reins to anything, but I realized real quick that if I don't give up the reins, I don't have free time. And,
Yeah.
so I was like, I need to build people up and train them to be, nobody's ever going to be like you, right? But almost like you, train them to be almost like you so that you can go do whatever you need to do, or, go enjoy yourself or whatever. I'm very fortunate that I have a team that I can rely on where I can go racing, on a Friday during the day if I want to. You know what I mean? So
That's what it's all about. Yeah, set yourself up. And uh, with my renovations and previous businesses and stuff, I had more people, more help. This business is tough to scale,
yeah,
I'll say. So I'm strategic with the scaling. I keep it mild enough, no road signs. If you have my phone number and know where I'm at, it's because I want you to.
right.
Keeping it controlled. And I have my hand in a few different things. I love race wires. Started it, I've been doing it full time for 11 years, 10, 11 years now. And I don't know. I think I'll probably just do it forever. But I'm like you. If I want to take off Friday and go race, wherever, I'll go.
Right.
But without having extra help or whatever, I'm working later at nights, to make up for that time, to get these projects going. But I'm also pretty good at taking on a lot of projects, a little too much sometimes, a little too motivated.
Yeah.
But
I'm
that's
like,
good. You want to push yourself though.
I'm
Sometimes
like,
the great. Go ahead.
I know. I was just saying. I keep looking back because, like, I got this new foster dog, that I'm fostering, and he's like, he gets into stuff. So I'm like, he like walks into the room and he's like bothering the other dog. So I have to like watch him because like sometimes my other dog, he's like about 7, so sometimes he doesn't want to be bothered. So he might snap at him or something.
Oh
So
boy.
yeah. So, but but yeah, so you have the business or whatever. what would you say is the most enjoyable thing? Is it when the car gets oil pressure, or would it be when the customer picks it up, or what is that?
I would say more oftentimes than not, it's when the customer picks it up because generally the car's already been through a handful of other shops. They've had a bunch of issues. It's already been a long time since they've raced. Wiring is usually one of the last things on the list, one of the last things to be done uh, for fit and finish reasons and stuff like that. But that's probably the most enjoyable when they come pick it up and they're like, it's running, it's ready. I spend a lot of time making sure everything is the best I can, 100% ready to go. I want to see them go, have fun first, win second. Some will argue that, but I don't think you can win without having fun.
Right.
You can, but I think it kind of defeats the purpose of the whole picture,
Right.
right? But yeah, that's satisfying, you know, when they can appreciate what you put into it. Uh, especially if the wiring wasn't so hot before, and then they pick it up and it's all pretty and working, and that's definitely one of the most satisfying. And then obviously when they win, that's
Right.
a because it's very emotional, right? Racers, you put your life into this shit.
Right.
It's your lifestyle. Like if you're a racer or a race car shop owner, like this is my lifestyle and I dig it, right? Like I try to set myself up for anything in life that I can walk away if I want. No one's gonna put me to the ground by my throat. Like
Right.
you have to do this. So I try to set myself up to do what I want, and I genuinely want to do this. And Nate does too. He gives me extra young motivation. Not that I'm old, but a little more motivation. Like,
That's
uh,
awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
you gotta love what you do, because if you don't, then it ends up being such a struggle. You know what I mean? Um, so like, you've been doing this a while. Have you seen, um, has business always increased, or has it gone down? Because the economy is not that great right now, but I don't know if you don't notice that because you deal with guys that are like almost millionaires.
I'm selective on the clientele. Uh, so no, I can honestly say in 11 years it's gone nothing but up. Even COVID, like I feel like over the last 11 years, we've been through enough elections, enough of BS. Although today, see, things, government and everything seems a little more out to lunch than it has been in years past.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I think the go getters and racers are go getters. I think they're going to work what they need to work to pay for what they need to pay for, and the people that can afford it will continue to be able to because they have successful businesses. They built teams around. They got it.
Right. Right.
I'm not concerned on that end. I feel like after running this business, I could open up a hell of an ice cream stand and run the shit out of it if this goes south. So,
I got a snowball stand for sale if you want it.
are you serious? Is that yours in Maryland? I saw it on. Is it business for sale?
Yeah.
Do you have it on a business like biz buy sell?
Uh
Buy biz sell?
no, it's on Facebook.
Is it? Oh, okay. Is it 19,000, 20,000 bucks
Yeah. Yeah.
in Maryland?
Yep.
And you get a
That's
little,
mine.
you get a stand.
Yep.
You get all the flavors.
All the flavors, all the
That's
machines.
yours,
Yeah, it's mine.
dude. I shit you not. I looked at that.
we can make a deal.
What are you doing with it?
It's a front. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a front. It's a front for your party favors in your fucking green room.
Oh man. So I shouldn't be allowed to spend money. That's basically what it comes down to. So I'm just scrolling through Facebook one day, and I'm always in Facebook Marketplace seeing what I could buy, right? Or what I could possibly have that I could put up for sale, right?
Sure.
And I come across this snowball stand, And I'm like, I was like, I like snowballs. Everybody likes snowballs. You know, this might be a good idea. So yeah, I just went like the next week and bought it. And
Nice.
uh, I would say though the most difficult part um about that business though is uh getting people to work it because that's like obviously very entry level job, right? So if you don't want to work it, you're going to probably have to hire like high school teenagers, things like that.
Yep.
And most of them don't want to work. You know what I mean? Like I'll hire like three teenagers and all three of them will tell me, well, I have to leave for like a month to go on vacation in Bermuda or whatever. And, you know, so I'm not doing anything with it right now. It's just kind of sitting there. So yeah, I'm trying to sell it.
All right.
Yeah.
We could repackage the branding and do some things and make it more expensive so we can hire real help.
Right. We can repackage it and call it the green room.
The green room. In fact, yes, I have a strip club idea that I want to open up a nasty, nasty club. House of
How is,
Bad Habits.
how's it going to be different?
Well, there'll be shower rooms so the guys can actually wash the girls down. Duh.
The-
I'm a
that,
fucking
that might be
boss.
that might be bad because the girls will be coming out of the club at like 4 a.m. all pruny because they got washed down like 36 times that evening.
Yeah. Well, that's on them. They got to clock in and go to work. You know.
Oh man. So
I'm a little out there with the jokes sometimes. So
oh no, that's good, man. That's good stuff. So what do you do for fun when you're not wiring cars or doing the race car stuff?
ooh, that's music. Whether I'm jamming or going to see a show.
Do you
My
still
wife
do
and
you
I.
still play like on your own or like do you
Oh
still
yeah.
play in a
Oh
band
yeah.
or
Yeah. I
nice.
always have a. Always got one hanging in the shop.
Oh, perfect. Wait. Bring that back. Bring that back.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Bring that back.
So this is a gem.
Look at that. So, can you play a song for us live?
Oh, I mean, I don't sing.
But that's all right. Just play.
Let's see. I don't really know any cover songs. I write a lot of guitar sections, but like
Any requests,
there's a bunch
guys?
of riffage.
That's good. Keep going. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's why I play by myself because it's not real good.
So Charlie Smith said Freebird.
What's that?
Charlie Smith said Freebird.
No, thank you. Sorry, Charlie. We
Sweet
stay
child of
away
mine.
from that nonsense. Oh, I can play that. Yeah. Put my knee up here. A little harder on acoustic.
That's sick, man. First time
Sorry.
ever on the race show, somebody playing live guitar. That's great.
Oh, you need to get Jason Ruckert
Oh,
from
really?
VP. You know
Yeah.
Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wired his car up and he he brought me a killer skateboard,
Nice.
and he also played a bunch of riffs on my guitar. He's a hell of a good guitar player. He plays in a couple local bands and shit.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, so guitar. What else? Skateboarding. Do you still snowboard?
No, I had to give up. Shatter my collarbone. That lights out for T-Baum, dude. I had to close the door on all those activities.
Oh, really? Was it?
That
How
hurt.
bad was it?
I mean, I got like 7 pieces of hardware up in this bitch.
Really?
Yeah,
Were you trying to do like a trick or anything? Or
no, that's the worst part about it, dude. I was skateboarding packages to the fucking post office and my wheel locked up. Like I wasn't even doing anything cool. Nothing. Like if you weren't in it, if you were a bystander watching, you would have just saw some tall Doppler fuck just fall for no reason.
Oh my god!
Had to drive my car home manual steering because it was all screwed up. So I drove my car home. Then my son dropped me off at the. He didn't even go in with me. He dropped me off the sidewalk. Later, Dad. You all right? Limped into the hospital.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. Come hang out in my household.
Yeah.
A little bit of fun.
Yeah. I'm down anytime, man.
Oh man, cars, music. I still watch a lot of skateboarding. In fact, my cousin Zach, he has a skateboarding company called Skate Wagon. And my late uncle Barry, he was always into hot rods and street rods and stuff. And Zach draws a lot of inspiration from my late Barry, and he incorporates a lot of car designs into his skateboard deck. So I'm helping Zach launch Skate Wagon, just kind of help him out with simple stuff. P&L,
Right.
Don't spend more than you make.
Right.
The basics. Right. He's early 20s. He's all about the skate scene and everything. But if I could get him to think more business minded by late 20s, early 30, like to get him in that, what kind of mindset I'm saying, like from the hustle, there's levels.
Yes.
So like we can get him to that next level. Yeah, he's doing great. So
a lot of people think, if they're good at something, right? If it could be a skill or whatever. We'll take martial arts as an example because I'm in that industry. Like they think, oh, because I'm the best fighter and I won all these championships and these tournaments and this and that, like people are just going to flock to me when I open my own studio. And it doesn't work that way. They find out the hard way that you need a business mindset and you need to throw that net out there and cast it to catch people in, and that's with any business is, you could be a great fabricator or whatever, right? But if you you'll get people to come to you, but you can really scale it if you know how to market yourself,
That's the ticket there, because you're always going to have the initial short-term success of your friends and family supporting.
Right.
That'll last, X amount of. That's short term. That's only, there's a limit to that, and then you have to break outside that box.
Right.
Like for Zach, I told him, like he was talking to me about race wires. He's like, well, race wires, he's aware that it's a niche business. He's aware because he's in a niche business with skateboarding. But I told him, you have to build a strong foundation. Like when I first started race wires, I was at the track nonstop. I was hanging out with all the guys at the track. I made sure I knew everybody and everybody knew me.
Yep.
And I used them to help hold me accountable because I put myself in position. Yeah, I could wire that. And I never wired that before. But sometimes you got to do stuff to push yourself to the next level. And I know that I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So, to be able to live in an uncomfortable state of mind 90% of your life and actually enjoy that is key, I think, to running businesses, right? Because I feel like greatness could only really be achieved if you let yourself go, like, and not let yourself go, but what am I looking for here?
Like, I guess,
You,
yeah, I guess, I think you're on the right track when you say like let yourself go, like, in the sense of, like letting like your bad habits like behind. You know what I mean?
bad habits, past, uh, let everything just be at ease and actually be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Right.
Right? Greatness can be achieved when you're living in a zone of being uncomfortable. Like if you're comfortable, you're not going to take chances. If you're comfortable, you're just gonna, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be comfortable and staying in that zone. But I don't know if it's rock and roll and me being always just kind of a little extra. I think
Mhm.
we're all a little extra, right? Racers, yourself, right? You wouldn't be in martial arts and all this stuff if you weren't extra.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like us being extra, we like being pushed in that uncomfortable zone. And then when you come out successful, it keeps building on your character, right? Your character building, and you know what you can tolerate and take and stand, all that kind of stuff.
That's funny you say that because like I tell that to my kids, and I say my kids 'cause I don't have any real children. I say my kids that are at my academy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
They're your kids.
yeah. So
Yep.
I say to them all the time, like, you have to be uncomfortable, and because once they get a little bit uncomfortable, they want to quit because that's what today's society is like. Anything that gets a little hard or uncomfortable, I don't want to do it anymore,
Oh,
and that's
especially now.
right, and that's just human nature. We are programmed to find things that make us feel good, right? And
Yep.
you know that's why the drug dealers are living large. You know what I mean?
So I
Because
smoke black and milds. I
ex-
feel good.
exactly. So, but I try to tell them that you're supposed to feel uncomfortable every once in a while. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, you're never going to grow. You're never going to grow as a person. You're never, what's going to happen when you get older and you fail like a college project or something like that. You just going to give up on college, right?
Right.
Not that everyone has to go to college, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
Um, it's nowadays it's like people are so easy to just give up on things.
Well, yeah, and it's generational too. A lot of the hardcore generations, kind of, the younger kids. Like I'm sure you deal with. I can't imagine having a dojo. Am I saying that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dojo,
Yep.
and having to deal with kids these days, not any day, and their parents, right? Oh, you're being a little hard on my little Johnny, man. My little Johnny said you're giving him a hard time because you're holding his ass accountable.
Yep.
You know,
So, dude, I could tell you stories, man.
you
Like,
got to have a lot of patience.
oh man. Honestly, the kids, even though teaching the kids is hard, they're the easier part. The parents are the most difficult part.
Yeah.
Um, because you know, you you teach them these values, you teach them, these things, but when they go home, uh, the bad parents, I should say, um, don't don't keep instilling what you're teaching them, right? So they go home and they forget about what you just taught them because they're allowed to do whatever at home, right?
Yep.
There are no rules at home. They get what they want at home, and then mom and dad come back to us and then they're like, well, he's not changing or she's not changing, you know? Well, if you keep doing the same thing at home, we can't change them. You gotta, instill discipline at home as well. And we give our parents advice like this is what you should be doing at home. We're gonna do our part here, blah, blah, blah. But they're only with us 2 hours a week, if that, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the rest of the time they're with their parents.
So how dumb are the parents and honestly thinking their kid's going to change with 2 hours a week with you?
Yeah. Well, I
So the
actually got an
focus is
arg
in the wrong area on their behalf.
Right. I actually got an argument once with a parent because you know within a month her son wasn't changed, right? And I said, "All right, let me get this straight. So how old is your son?" And I don't remember. This was a long time ago. Uh, he was like 6 or 7 years old or whatever. I was like, "Okay, great." I was like, "How long has he been here?" "Oh, a month." "Okay." So it took him 6, 7 years to build these habits that he has,
Mm-hmm.
and you expect me to change him in a month? How does the math add up? And she couldn't really answer me, right?
No, because she's on Quaaludes. Fuck, they're all eating sleeping pills. They'll never fucking relate. Jesus
Oh yeah.
Christ. This shit
But
is
man,
too easy.
yeah, but that's I deal with it all the time. And don't get me wrong, we do have some great parents, but guess what? My best students, my best kids have parents that are hard on them.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works. The parents that are hard on their kids, those are the ones that shine in class. In my class, they shine in school, they shine at their jobs if they're teenagers or whatever. They're overachievers. You know, being hard on someone and teaching them the right way never hurt anybody.
No, in fact, I think that's called real love.
Yeah,
That's genuine love.
right.
Uh, my wife and I taught our kids that nobody gives a fuck about them outside these doors of our house.
That's true.
Nobody fuck it. This is very important. We looked our kids in the face, and me especially. I'm a little bit more in your grill than most people, right? So I'm all in my kids like,
Don't do that. You're getting me scared.
I'm like, nobody legitimately fucking cares about you, your opinion, or your feelings. So
Right.
we're gonna work towards making you self-sufficient, right? My kids are graduated college and trade school, paid for schooling on their own because I have a Fox Body Mustang that I need to fucking support. I cannot be paying for school loans. It's not my choice to go to school. I chose my profession and built it. Now it's your
Right.
turn.
Right.
But we helped
Did
them.
you go to college or no?
I did not.
Nice.
I spent, man, I still do. I'm still up every night, an hour or two at the end of each night, whether it's 1 or 3 in the morning, researching, doing homework, because electronics are changing nonstop, right? So I have to constantly stay on the up and up with the latest and greatest. So
Right.
it's kind of ongoing schooling. I've just put myself through the schooling, which for in my case, all I got to do is learn everything about Holly, Motec, Fuel Tech, whatever, right? And all their information is readily available online. I don't have to pay to go to classes for my school. I just have to have the discipline to look it up and learn about it on my, on that end of things. But kind of taught the kids the same way, man. I didn't want pieces of shit kids out there,
Yeah.
you know,
You taught him
just
right then.
no, I wanted them to be able. I know my lifestyle and with the way I drive my car and stuff. I may not be here tomorrow, the next day, right? Someday we're all gonna go,
Right.
and I just wanted to make sure that they'd be all right without no handheld, holding. Like
Right.
you'd be all right without me. You're good.
Right.
You
I
know,
think that's what every parent wants for their kid deep down is, for them to be okay when they're not around, right?
it's just
But
implementing the groundwork. A lot of parents can't distinguish separating. They want to be best friends or
yeah,
or whatever all the time, but they can never separate uh, the discipline from the best friend, right? Like if you love somebody or whatever, like I'll tell my own friends, I'll look anybody in the face when I think they're a little out of line, and I would expect them to do the same to me.
right. Yeah,
Hey Troy, I know you're a little out there, but now you're really fucking off. You know what I mean? You're way
right.
out there, so we need to bring you back in.
Right.
But I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't imagine having to deal with all the parents like you're saying because they're holding you accountable for something that is on them.
Correct.
And when they say, well, my kid hasn't changed, like, were they bringing their kid to you for discipline? Like,
Yeah, pretty
who
much.
learns
Just
it? No,
yeah.
it's an art. That's a
Uh,
skill. That's self-defense.
so a lot of times, they'll bring them in for several different reasons. It'll either be discipline or self defense or confidence building. We get that a lot.
Okay,
Uh,
I can
con-
see that. Yeah.
Confidence building. A lot of kids nowadays have zero confidence in themselves. A lot of kids nowadays get bullied, especially like online, because nowadays people don't fight fist to cuffs anymore, right? It's just
No.
all online, right? Um, so uh, so usually it's one of those that particular mom brought her kid in for discipline. He was a little shit. And he was very disrespectful, but it's because mom let it happen.
Right.
So, when you let your kids, talk back to you or hit you, that's your own fault.
And that's deeper than discipline because now you have to build the respect ladder. Like, do you want your kid to respect you, or do you just want them to not beat you because they can't?
Right.
like, like my son's a lifter. He could smash me, but he respects me.
Right.
Like, and I love that relationship there. Like, what you're talking about is unrealistic, with these parents. They're asking you to do a job you didn't sign up for,
Yeah.
and that's not fair to you. You need me in there to you want me to talk to some of these parents for you? I can
Yeah.
talk to them when they're walking outside. Like, I'll no affiliation with your business. I'll just stand outside and orchestrate and kind of just know what's going on and let
No,
them have it.
I'm gonna put you in a gi, right? But you need to wear the hat. So I'm gonna announce to the class, hey, we have a new instructor, Sensei
That's right.
Troy.
Yeah. Did you say Seafood Troy?
Keith said, "Is Troy's streetcar back out yet? That's what we want to know, not homework."
You tell Keith to mind his own damn business. He's my hero because he takes a fucking race car, goes out and does donuts with it, and he's actually yeah, Keith's my guy.
Yeah.
Pink seatbelts to the front, Keith. Pink seatbelts.
Does he have
Almost time, Keith. Couple more weeks, hopefully I'll have a motor, buddy.
what's with the pink seatbelts?
Uh Keith had pink belts in his car. Uh, we brought it here long time ago, and it's just been an ongoing joke. Nothing really to it.
Okay.
I like making something out of nothing. you know, life's too short to take all this shit too seriously. Just make shit up.
True. So let's see some of your work here. So this
Oh,
is
that was
our
a big one.
yeah. So tell us what was this job here?
Yeah, what you're looking at there is a Motec M150 PDM package for a newer vet. Drag race package, all the sensors, all the goodies, mil spec connectors. You can see the breakouts
Hmm.
and the connectors, and basically that's a solid way to spend 180 hours.
That was a 180-hour job.
Yeah, at least.
How long? How long? How long is 180 hours? Are you doing 40 hours a week or
No, if I'm diving in like that, I'll I mean, I don't even know how many hours a week. I mean, because I'm good at living off of like 3-4 hours of sleep,
Yeah.
and I'll work odd hours. So I'll come in, I'll work 8 hours at a time, go home, eat with my wife and stuff when she's ready to chill or whatever. She knows I'm not one to just sit around the house, and she doesn't either. She's a go getter, so it's like, all right, I'll go back to the shop.
That's
I'll
awesome.
hang out to the shop till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., like
Right.
banging. Phone's not going off, so I can get a lot done at night.
Right.
Um, but yeah, it's good. A lot of times it'll be consecutive, but sometimes if it's broken up, like now I have 6 cars in here, and I haven't worked out with everybody. We got it going on, try to get them all done in a timely manner, but timely and wiring just doesn't never seem to mix.
Let's see here. This is really nice.
Yeah, that's a race wheel we did for I think that was for Billy's Fox body. Yeah, with the
Uh,
booted
yeah.
boots on the back, and oh no, that's Jeremy Gers, my engine guy, my best friend. Jeremy Gers is Malibu. We did his Malibu street car that has two PDMs in it, ECU Master PDMs and Holly. Uh, we have literally everything in that street car. I have more sensors in his one car than most pro mods. Like,
Wow. If
yeah, I mean, we got, yeah,
that
all
that
kinds.
steering wheel setup, what does something like that cost? Like if somebody wanted to buy that from you,
That
um,
one, that one there had a mil spec connector. I don't know if you took notice to that, or was it just a regular
y-
Deutsch connector?
oh yeah,
That's got a
yep,
circular milli on it. So they're like, I don't know, $50 to $150 depending on the pin count. You'll easily have a few hundred in parts. You know, $20 to $30 for a coil cord, your switches, and then us. You know, 2 hours. I don't know. I really don't set wheels up for people like just to do that. I
right,
probably should. I feel like I could scale out a lot, but then man, I I'm already a little spread thin.
gotcha.
So for me to revamp my website and do all this selling, and Troy's not much of a salesman. Like I'm a little rough around the edges. So like,
Dude, I feel like you could sell like anything.
probably because I'm fucking honest. I'll tell you if it's shit. Like,
That's awesome. Um, what about this one here?
oh, so that one is a grudge car. That's why you don't see the outside of the car. That one will be coming out. You'll know this car next year. Mark my words.
Okay.
So that's got, you see the can pad by the
Yeah.
shifter.
Yep.
Yep, can pad. You can't really see the PDM and stuff. Although the wiring, I probably I should probably hire a photographer sometime, Lewis.
Yeah.
My pictures sometimes are, you know, I do everything in house. So I'm the in house photographer,
Right.
wiring guy, fucking salesman.
Right. You're jack of all trades. And then
Mic drop.
let's see what else you got here.
Oh, yeah, it's Billy's turbo car there with the Motec harness. You can see where that is in the testing stage, fully tested. We don't shrink down any boots or anything. I put it all in the car and turn power on and everything. Before we shrink down all the boots, you can see the Raychem, all the boots there. That's a fairly big harness too. That car you'll be seeing a lot of him end of this year, next year too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really sweet cars coming out that I get a lot of guys that don't want their stuff all over. Like I'll have their cars and you don't even know I have it, and I'll post
Right.
pictures a year later.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I think a lot of people want to keep that, keep it a little discreet. So like, uh, it's kind of like a surprise and then like their competition, kind of they don't see them coming, you know what I mean? Type of deal,
that's
you
it
know.
there.
Um
Yeah,
and
the
then
competition.
we know this guy.
Oh, Jim Halsey's. So I did. That was one of the highlights. One of the highlights of my so-called career, you want to call it that. My fun zone here
Right.
was getting my hands on Halsey's Big Red when he raced Big Red
Hmm.
years ago. To be able to develop a relationship with him, I had one with him from racing at Cecil all the time. Him yelling at me about safety stuff and doing shit I'm not supposed to be doing. Uh, you know, put your gloves on, Troy. You know, no parachuter shit, but make sure you have your gloves on.
Right.
Uh, yeah,
Nice gloves. You don't have a helmet on, but nice gloves.
we just don't hang a WOT out the back anymore. The sand trap's getting too damn close these days. But But that was super awesome to develop a relationship with Halsey in a business sense with his program.
Right.
Uh, no one can deny he has one of the most professional put together programs ever
In the country.
in the
Yeah.
country,
Yeah.
right? So to be able to be a part of that not only strengthened our core foundation at Race Wires for my street cred. My street cred is everything.
Right.
My street cred with my people is everything. Like I
Right.
see you at the track, whatever, fucking grab me, say hi. I don't care. I may not remember your face or name, but my street cred is there. Anybody that ever supported me from day one to just starting now to support our shop, fucking amazing.
Right.
Like, thank you so much. So the street cred's everything. And that Halsey helped add a level of street cred that wasn't there before early on. And then he got his new car working with Brandon Switzer, and now Brandon kicked me out. He said, I want to do it all myself now. And I said, no problem, Brandon, because if you're going to take a back seat to anybody, you might as well take it to the best in the industry or some of the best. That is Brian Shaw's. So that was the first nitrous Fuel Tech car. I was working with Fuel Tech before they were they were Fuel Tech, but still Brazil Fuel Tech.
Right.
We were straying away from Big Stuff 3, working with Proline and all that stuff. That was Brian Shaw nitrous deal though with Luis at Fuel Tech.
Gotcha. Luis was driving that car?
Luis was driving that car, I think. I think that was the first time I saw us put a TPS sensor on a blower hat deal too, or some shit. There was some weird stuff going. That was pretty cool.
And then
that's what we just finished up. That's another Motec deal.
Yeah. Very clean.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, the Motec stuff's really hard to beat.
Is that probably the number one system you like to work with? Like, what's the number one and what's the least?
They all pay me the same to wire.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
I don't get involved in the ECU wars. If you want to know the best, I got to be honest, it's probably Motec in my experience from seeing everything I've seen over the years with every other ECU manufacturer. They all have their pros and cons, right? But as far as functionality and everything just working and no BS stuff, Motec seems to fit that bill hands down. Other than the cost and
right, you're going to pay a high number for Motec.
You are, which I'm putting together. I'm working on a couple packages now with Randy Schoner. I work with Randy a lot. Randy's a fantastic tuner, wiring guy, local. Jersey. And Chris Delgado. He's another Motec guy. He writes a lot of really cool stuff for all that stuff. Leader of the pack. Working on just different packages. So we're going to put a cost package together because my customers are asking me, like, I'm getting a lot of more messages like, what's a Fuel Tech or Holly or Haltech complete and then Motec, right? Nobody ever denies that the Motec's better.
Right.
Like, I've never had somebody say, well, no, it's not.
Right.
All you ever hear is, oh, it costs too much. Well, if you put it in perspective, like, well, you can have the normal big block or you can have the Allen Johnson motor. That's what you're dealing with. Right. You're not dealing with apples to apples here, so it's not going to cost the same.
I think that just comes down to maybe Motec doing a better job or having guys like you do a better job for them. And like you just said, explaining and educating people on why it's more expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for a lot of reasons, Motec as a company, I don't think they don't really market themselves to they're involved in so much that our industry, they don't give anything away, no sponsorships. That's why you don't racers want a lot of stuff for free, and companies will jump on board and give them the product to get it out there. And that's the way it should work, right? That's how
Yep.
sponsorships work.
Yep.
Most racers forget that. Most racers take, and forget to give back.
Yep.
And I think companies are getting tired of that. You actually had a really good episode a month or so ago, right, about marketing, sponsorships,
Yep.
talking about it, right? You hit a lot of great key points. I feel like you could probably have another 2 or 3 episodes of just breaking that stuff down.
Like I could hold probably like a 4-hour seminar on that stuff. Like there's just so much to it. And that's what racers don't understand. Most racers don't understand is it's not about putting a sticker on your car. Like the company doesn't care about throwing their sticker on your car. You know what I mean?
No,
Like that doesn't bring them an ROI. You know, you have to think outside the box. You have to be creative. So um I have a creative project going on with Haltech because Haltech sponsors me. I have a
oh
creative
great,
project going on currently that I'm not really supposed to talk about, but you guys will see in a few months.
oh
Um,
awesome,
so, and again, this was just an idea I had, and I was like, "Hey, can I do this for you?" And they're like, "Absolutely, let's do that." So, and I'm not making any money from it. I'm not really getting anything out of it. I just want to do it for them as payback for them helping out with my car.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Haltech is great to work with.
Yeah.
I mean,
Great company.
they're a great company. I'm surprised, and you're starting to see a lot more Haltech out there
Yeah.
than previous years. Haltech's one of those companies that came into the domestic world. We helped push that years ago. We put the Elite 2500 and REM box, the old REM box and
Yeah.
2500 modules on 2 radial cars and went down to Georgia with them. And at that point, Haltech was doing a lot of import stuff. Like they have a completely other world, the
Yeah.
Haltech world. The domestic drag race stuff, what we do is small compared to what's out there in the motorsports industry, right?
Right.
So to see Haltech come on, Haltech's always been super great with tech help and all that stuff, and helping racers out, right? They're willing to work with racers. They don't want to just give product away, but
Right.
they'll work with racers and people with motivation, right,
Right.
to help each other, because it's like you said, it's not giving product. Like, I'll get racers. Oh, you probably heard of me, man. You may want to do my car so you get your name out there. And I'm like, bud, I'll be 50 in 3 years, and I've tolerated a lot in this fucking life. I don't foresee me caring who you are or wiring your shit for free. So you called the wrong number.
So yeah, I've gotten those types of guys.
Yeah, but they don't quite get it. And then I'll joke around with them and fuck with them and tell them how much of an asshole they are in the nicest way I can. And then we come full circle, and then they understand. They get it. Oh,
Right.
you're a small shop. You can't work 2 weeks and give me 150 hours for nothing. Right. Why would I
Right.
do that?
Right.
How could I do that?
Right.
Like,
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I got, like I said, I got Nate, and I got some people on the back end helping me with my documentation and spreadsheets, and, stuff like that.
That's understandable, man. It's
You
understandable.
know, but
Um, so before we sign off, is there anyone you'd like to shout out?
shout out
Yeah. Anybody you
you,
want to thank? Me?
thank you. Nah, thanks for having me on here. You know, I've been watching your episodes. I try to watch the shows that give some education, right?
Right.
You get some good content, good stuff. Um, but yeah, as far as shout outs, I mean, shout outs to all the old wiring guys that that started all this stuff to help me along to get to where I'm at. All the customer support uh, all along the way. The great companies we work with. Um,
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome, man.
Not real good at this part, Lewis.
No, you're doing great, man. Thank you so much for coming on and making me laugh during the whole hour.
Oh,
That was
dude,
great.
I did a sloppy mechanics podcast with Matt Happel. He thought it'd be a lot of fun, and him and I are always shooting shit, just screwing off. And we had a 6-hour podcast, and that was with Devin Vanderhoof. It was me, Devin Vanderhoof, and Matt, and it was only supposed to go like 2 hours, and we just kept
6 hours.
nonstop.
Wow.
Just
hopefully
there
was
like a comedy episode.
Hopefully there was some alcohol or blunts involved to get you through the time. This coffee.
Wow.
Wow.
And Black and Milds.
Well, awesome, man. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. We'll be back next week. Again, we'll see you guys at Cecil County Dragway Friday and Saturday. Are you going this weekend? Are you going to be around? Are you working?
Actually, I may be there Friday. We may be testing a car. You gonna be there Friday?
Yep, I'll be there Friday.
All right. Well, if I'm there, you're there,
we'll go in the green room.
You try to keep your fucking hands to yourself.
I can't help it. I just get all excited.
Yeah, we'll hit up the green room.
Just call me Jazz Hands. All right, guys. Sayonara. See you guys later.
Peace.